A much anticipated solar eclipse was quickly approaching. Just 100 miles south of our home in St. Louis, there would be 4 minutes of totality. Sandy and I, and our friends Nat and Elaine, decided to make a 3-day paddling adventure out of it on the mighty Mississippi River and avoid the tangle of traffic that was forecasted for Eclipse Day.
Have fun!
Recent rains had raised the river level. While it was still below flood stage, the wing dikes were submerged, which would cause strange currents that often resembled boiling water. And the forecast called for rain squalls and a 20-mile-per-hour headwind. Despite these conditions, it was exhilarating to be on the mighty Mississippi and starting a journey. After a couple of short miles, and just before turning a bend to face the wind, we stopped for a lunch break.
A little rain coming down. Getting ready to hit the big headwinds now.
Feeling helpless to control the boats, we fought our way over to a gravel bar in the middle of the river.
Where are we at?
We're at a gravel bar in the middle of Mississippi.
Is this good couples therapy?
The stoker almost had a meltdown.
Cool scene. You can't even see the end of the island.
We then continued our journey south, now lining the boats rather than paddling.
It's silly, but this is really pretty damn fun.
Although the headwind continued, the rain stopped and the sun came out. We pulled onto a beach at Devil's Backbone to dry out, have a snack, and explore.
Just upstream from Tower Rock, near the town of Grand Tower, we're by this pipeline, and the sun has just come out. Oh, there's Sandy and Elaine up there. Devil's Backbone. So this is the foundation for the house where a local rich guy lived, and his daughter got married across the river on Tower Rock, and then getting back in the boat to come back over, the boat got pulled into a whirlpool and sank, and she died. And supposedly her ghost haunts Tower Rock now.
Okay.
The ghost of Tower Rock, some people call it ghost of the Mississippi. This does look like what would be considered the bake oven. Other than the unfortunate graffiti, this is really awesome. Yeah, like Sandy was saying, this faces south, so it would be really hot in the summer. I'll give it a thumbs up. Worth the effort. Watch your step.
Cheers, you guys. Get a picture of the bake oven.
We put the Pop-Tarts in Devil's Bake Oven, and we're eating these delicious pastries.
After crossing way too close in front of a barge, its waves combined with the wind, the current, and a submerged wing dike to give us high seas. looked as though we might get swamped, so we did an about face and quickly paddled with the waves. Somehow, nobody capsized. Although we hadn't covered our intended distance for the day, we pulled ashore on an island known as Cottonwood Bar, set up camp, and had a relaxing evening.
Here she comes.
Here she comes, the princess.
I was making the bed.
We were pleased to find that we shared the island with 3 eclipse-seeking canoeists from Virginia and a natural rookery with an array of birds to sing us to sleep.
But it was all in.
Having stopped early the previous day, we knew we had to cover more distance today. But the air was calm and the skies were clear, and we had a renewed sense of optimism.
Good morning.
Morning.
On the mighty Mississippi. This is a big muddy river called the Cypress Dividing Line. South of here, cypress trees are more abundant. Hanging Dog Bluff.
It was nearly showtime, and we needed to land.
At the end of day 2, we're going to camp up on that ledge on a little bit of Minion Point sandbar. And this is Cape Girardeau, maybe a couple miles from where we're taking out tomorrow.
We were centered in the eclipse zone. We put on our eclipse glasses and were ready for the moon to kiss the sun.
There's a ATV coming up.
Is this private property?
No, it's an island.
How's it going?
Just an FYI, this is private property. All I ask you is just clean up after yourself. That's all we ask.
We were unintentional trespassers, but the landowner couldn't have been more gracious and said that it was fine for us to stay. When asked about a nearby cross that we noticed,
A guy that murdered his wife.
and buried her body here. Her remains were found 2 years later. The cross was put up to honor her. We had the rest of the evening to relax and thought about the thousands of people sitting in traffic jams. But one thing weighed on our minds. Storms were forecasted to roll in before dawn the next morning. So we packed up and loaded everything we could into the boats, then set our alarms to wake before dawn so we could push off at first light. The rest was up to Mother Nature. When we woke, the storms had not yet arrived. We quickly packed our remaining gear and loaded it into the boats.
We're waiting for that little morning light, and then we're gonna get across the river and get off before the storms come in. Okay, we're rolling. 6:20. And we have a chance of beating the storms. Red Star Access we're heading to this morning. 1.9 miles as the crow flies. Woohoo! Good trip, you guys.
Yeah. You think for a river out of it.
It was only after we loaded our cars with gear and canoes that the rain arrived. Thank you to the Thunderbeans for letting us pass.